The Insta360 Dive... Oh god, that was not deep enough. Anyhow, the Insta360 Dive Case. Will it sink to the bottom of your drawer or rise to the occasion?
Spectacular! Now, you might want to stick around because I've seen a lot of reviews and none of them have pushed the Insta360 Dive Case to its depths. And fortunately, the handsome devil Hentacular has done so. I am never doing that again. Or am I? Okay, so let's jump into a quick overview of the Insta360 Dive Case. So, there are a few different bits and bobs that come with the Insta360 Dive Case, but these right here, they're the main ones. If you look here, you'll notice that there's an anti-fog strip, and what you want to do is get rid of these and replace it with the actual fog strip inserts. And the anti-fog strip inserts are just this like white piece of paper sort of thing, and you want to just slide it in there, and it doesn't lock in place because it's paper, but it should fit perfectly because the cutout is the same size. Why, did you lose focus? And you can see I've got the anti-fog strips in on both sides. Make sure you dive with these in. You absolutely do not want to forget to put these, otherwise the case itself will get really foggy and your camera will not produce any meaningful results. Once that is set up, put it aside for now and turn on your Insta360. I hate that it takes that long to load. Anyhow, on your Insta360, what you want to do is scroll down from the top and activate the scuba diving mode. So you got the dive case mode, which is enabled. And what that does is block out these buttons, and essentially all camera operation is with these two buttons here. Okay. The top button, long hold, will turn it on and off. If you do a quick tap, it helps change the camera mode from video to photo. And the bottom one is to start and stop recording. Alrighty, once the camera is in scuba diving mode, you can simply pop it into your dive case and basically lock this in place. It should be fairly easy to do this, it's not that hard. And ta-da, we've got it locked in. You can see there's two buttons on the side here, that was for the top and bottom button, and these buttons here you can't tap. Now you'll notice that the anti-fog strips are actually located here, so they don't actually get picked up by the camera, which is very handy underwater. I would recommend, once you've got it set up to this stage, just play around with the controls, make sure you're comfortable with it, make sure everything's working as intended, as well as dipping this underwater to make sure that the seal is correct and there are no leakages anywhere. Now that you've got this set up, you can start to attach your selfie stick. So what you want to do is add this screw in here. So what you want to do is screw this base on. This will allow you to put the selfie stick to the bottom of the case. Okay, now I've got that screwed in. You may be wondering, what's this piece? Well, this piece you can actually use to tighten the screw. And I know you may think this is something that's not really needed, but I can tell you, in my 20 to 30 minutes underwater, this started getting loose and it started going back and forth. I would highly recommend you screw this in place. It is very useful. And once that's set up, it's very easy. You just twist the selfie stick and attach everything all together. Let's take a look at the pros. The biggest pro of the Insta360 Dive Case is not actually related to the dive case itself, but having the capability to reframe underwater is a game changer. It's the first of its kind from a consumer grade level, which is very cool. It also allows for you to get very unique shots which you wouldn't have been able to otherwise, especially compared to the other action cameras. And just in addition to that, it is very easy to film yourself underwater with this. It has a great anti-fog design. Given the innovative 360 nature of the camera, the anti-fog design does not come up at all in all of my footage. I think it works perfectly. And last but not least, this is a benefit of Insta360, but the way it removes the selfie stick is so convenient. I know there's a lot of post-processing, but it beats removing the selfie stick compared to the Osmo Action. However, on that note, let's take a look at the cons. If you're using DJI's invisible selfie stick, when fully protruded, this may actually bend, and that stuffs up the stitching. Take this for example. Now you can definitely see it on my hand. Is it a deal breaker? Not really, but something worth noting. Also, with maybe 25 to 20% of my footage, I found like minor stitching issues and a few major ones here and there. Take a look at these examples. And mind you, I am using the scuba diving mode and I have tried to fix it in post. It just won't fix. There's this weird seam for some of my footage and I can't determine what's causing it or when it's actually happening. Another con that I found, and I don't have any evidence for this because I was testing it, maybe once or twice during that scuba dive, what happened was the Insta360 gave me an error. So it's not really a case issue, but if you do get an error, you'll lose footage. And the very last con, but the most important con I found with this, is that the quality, the deeper you go, is abysmal. I see all these other reviews online and they're testing it maybe just a meter from the surface of the water, but I took this to depths of 10, 15 meters, and the deeper you go, the less lighting there is, and the quality is just not there. Take a look at this side by side I did of a turtle.
Quick note, my Osmo Action has a waterproof housing and a red filter. Is it me, or is it getting noisy in here?
And the quality is so much better compared to it. You can see some other examples here.
Look how beautiful the Osmo Action footage is. You can actually see how far away it was recording. Mind you, I got around the same distance on the Insta360, but it just looks wider. And again with the clownfish, the Osmo Action just looks so spectacular. The Insta360, I can't say the same.
There is a solution to it, but it's sort of non-intuitive where you actually have to scroll out on the Insta360 app, and the further you scroll, the smaller the turtle gets, and therefore the more pixels are condensed in a small area and it looks clearer. But that's really not ideal, given that when I was there, I swam right up next to the turtle. I thought, hey, if I bring the camera closer to the turtle, it would look clearer because, you know, it's right there. But sort of the opposite happened, where I had to zoom out in post to get some clear footage.
And just to show you that I'm not exaggerating, I'll render these out in the different render views. So we have the D-Warp, we have the ultra wide, the mega view, and Tiny Planet. You can see Tiny Planet is by far the clearest, and that's because it's very zoomed out. And just in case there's any skepticism, I rendered out these clips at different bit rates and at different depths. If I'm being honest, I don't notice any difference between the bit rates, but I'm not a pixel peeper. Also, one other consideration is that YouTube will obviously compress the video, but just take my word guys, it's not as good as the Osmo Action.
So I guess now we come to the conclusion. Do I recommend the dive case or not? I would say, if you have an Insta360 and you don't have any other action camera or any means of recording underwater, get the dive case. It does the job and it will record, there's nothing wrong with it. The quality may be a bit lower, but it's better than nothing, and you can get some really cool underwater shots with this. However, if you do have any other action cam like the Osmo Action or even a GoPro, I would say if you're fussed about quality, stick to that. Never thought I'd be recommending GoPro, especially in 2024, but here it is, I guess. Well, I hope this answered a lot of questions for you. If you do have any other, feel free to leave it in the comments down below. Otherwise, you better subscribe if I helped you out. Tentacular!